years, that is the Azadi Ka Amrut Mahotsav, the Pharmaceutical Department, Indian central government report that clearly distinguished the bullet points with respect to the Indian pharmaceutical sector. So these are the different pharmaceutical industries, specifically the Indian pharmaceutical industry facts and the figures. And that will definitely make you proud that you are a pharmacy student and you would be working in Indian pharmaceutical industry or maybe abroad for the pharmaceutical industry. So with respect to the Indian pharmaceutical industry, it ranks third in terms of pharmaceutical production by volume. That means for every drug, like most of the drug product which are reaching all over the world, out of five, one is from one generic product is manufactured from India. Majority, India is manufacturing generic drug product, OTC medicine, bulk drugs, vaccines. They're also performing contract research and manufacturing, and recently they have also started working on biosimilars and the biologics. We have yet to achieve more with respect to biosimilars and biologics, but few of the drug products are being coming up as biologics and biosimilars. In India, we have the highest number of US FDA compliant pharma plants and outside the USA. We have around 500 API manufacturers, and if you can see in terms of global, our API industry is 8% with respect to the global pharmaceutical API industry. The first one is probably China, and after there are many constraints with respect to quality for the China, India is one of the preferred API manufacturer for the world. API is the largest supplier. India is the largest supplier of global generic medicines. So as I said earlier, 20% share with respect to the global generic, and around 60,000 different generic brands across 60 therapeutic categories, and those are available in more than 200 countries. If you can see the Indian pharmaceutical sector and the Indian economy, the export has been increased a lot and the import has been reduced. That means we are self-sufficient with respect to most of the medicines for the healthcare and for need of our country. And since the import has been increased, we can say that we are manufacturing and importing since the export has been increased, we can say that we are manufacturing the drug product and exporting all over the world. That means the world is dependent on us for the supply of quality medicines. Again, looking towards the Indian pharmaceutical sector. So as I said, export has been increased a lot. Import has been reduced. So over 55% export to highly regulated market happens from India. We are the highest exporters and over 55% exports to highly regulated market. 90% to WHO, that is the World Health Organization, and 90% of the APIs are approved by the WHO are being sourced from India. We have experienced during the COVID stage. During the COVID pandemics, like India was probably one of the first country which produced the COVID vaccine and also achieved around 100% vaccination in India. And when we consider the world, around 65 to 70% of WHO's vaccine requirement is sourced from India. India has got US FDA approved site around 741 as of August 2021 in India. Most of the students today are going to USA for their higher education. They are also settling into US and working for the profession. But like with respect to the pharmaceutical sector, the world is looking towards the India as a prominent country for research and development and manufacturing of the API and the pharmaceutical drug product. So far, the number of ANDA market authorizations secured by the Indian companies are 4,346. And this figure is of December 2022. So few additional are there in 21 and 22. By value also, Indian pharma output is increasing year on year. And in 2020-21, if you can see in terms of crore, 427,109. That was the rupees in crore. So that is the Indian pharma output. And the growth of the Indian pharmaceutical industry year on year is around 9.77. So we can say that low price and high quality Indian medicines are preferred worldwide, and therefore they are rightly making the India as a pharmacy of the world. And the Indian pharmaceutical industry is contributing for the economy and for the growth of the nation. Now, when the industry is growing, when the industry is writing a success story, it is also providing employment for millions and ensuring that the essential drugs at affordable prices are available to the vast population of its subcontinent. So it's not that only industry is growing, but as the industry is growing, it is providing opportunity for all of us to grow together. Now let's see more into the pharmaceutical industry. So as I said, pharmaceutical industry is involved into manufacturing and distribution of the medicines. Various pharmaceutical industry business units are research and development, manufacturing operation, quality, regulatory, clinical, purchase, supply chain management, finance and administration, business development, project management, legal and compliance, corporate communication, etc. So various pharmaceutical industry business units. So all of them are the individual business unit, and those business units work together in order to develop and manufacture a quality pharmaceutical product and supply it in time to the healthcare of the society. And when we can see all those departments or all those pharmaceutical industry business units, we can say that we all can get an opportunity to work and lead for any of the business unit. Or maybe we can say that some of the students who are actually listening to this particular webinar, they we can see in future probably working as a CEO or chairman of your own pharmaceutical manufacturing unit or the distribution unit or maybe of the pharmaceutical stores. Let's see individually how those departments are, how those departments work, and let's have more insight with respect to the individual units or the individual business unit. So the most and the important business unit of any pharmaceutical industry is research and development. Now, whenever you are looking towards any of the pharmaceutical product, the pharmaceutical product contains the API. API is responsible for the pharmaceutical action, which is also called as a drug substance. So we have API development. In API, it can be a new chemical entity development or a generic API development. API can be developed as a new molecule for new indication, and it can go through several preclinical and the clinical studies till NCE and NDA is being filed. So NCE is a new chemical entity. So no other drug substance with that particular chemical structure or for the indication doesn't exist. And when it is being invented for the first time, and when it is being registered with the agency as an NDA, and it is approved as it is being approved as a NDA. So it's a new chemical entity, approved new product, that is the NDA. Now, when it comes into the market and when the patent gets expired, or maybe before patent expiry through certain invalidation or maybe certain processing changes or some new added advantage or added indications, a generic API is being made. So you can see a R&D of API which can develop NC and which can develop the generic APIs also. Now, when those APIs are converted into the formulation, those are actually the formulations. So then comes into picture the formulation research and development. So formulation and research and development can be for the development of new formulations, that is the NDA for the NC molecules or the generic formulations. So you can see actually, like as I said earlier in my discussion, that India is one of the most preferred destination for the development of generic product and the manufacturing of the generic products. So generic product are the alternative to the branded formulations, and those formulations are equivalent with respect to dosage form, equivalent with respect to the strain, equivalent with respect to the indication as that of branded formulation. So ANDA comes after the NDA, and generic formulation normally comes after the patent expiry of the originator formulation or through certain patent term litigations. So there are certain pharmaceutical research and development units for the biologics also. All of you know that biologics are the medications from the living sources, and they are also used for treating various range of conditions, and most probably for the cancers. Those are more complex than the conventional formulations or the conventional medications, and those are very difficult to develop also as a biologic API or maybe as a biologic formulation or the biotechnological formulations. And also copying them to make affordable generic formulations, which are called as biosimilar formulation, is also very difficult and complicated process than how generics are being usually made. But still, the research and development happens with respect to biologics, that is the biotechnological drug product and the biosimilar drug product. Now, whenever any drug product are being made or the new APIs are being made, as I said earlier, the NC goes through toxicological screening, safety studies, efficacy studies, and the clinical research with respect to those particular new chemical entities. And the bioequivalence studies with respect to ANDA formulation is also taken care during the research and development phase. So the difference between NDA and the ANDA is that actually A is removed from the NDA because it's a abbreviated new drug applications. So generic is an abbreviated new drug application, and in this case you need not to do a toxicological or safety or the efficacy study, which is being taken care at the NCA stage at the filing of the NDA. And in case of ANDA, we only need to take the innovator product or the reference product, and we have to perform the bioequivalence study of the test product and the reference product. So we have to see that the test product and the reference product, the rate and extent with which the drug enters into our body is similar, so that the same pharmacodynamic can be expected with respect to the abbreviated new drug application product. Also, research and development department is involved into a process development. As we can see that this pharmaceutical world is evolving. We have started developing the product or the generic product from 2003, 2005. And the product may be developed with some smaller scale. The product may be developed with some limitation of the technology. So during the continuous life cycle manage of the product, if there are some process changes or the some process optimization is being required to be taken into care, taken into consideration, the research and development department works on the process optimization for the existing molecules or the existing products also, and that may comes for the API as well as for the formulation, as well as during development of a new NC molecule or a new NDA or maybe a new generic formulation. Whatever the process development need to be taken, that process development is done at the research and development phase. Thus, process development and optimization is also one of the key aspect of any API development or the formulation development. And the pharmaceutical scientists use their expertise to convert the molecules into safe, effective medicines and the medicinal or the pharmaceutical product, which further saves the life of the patients, or it gives the improvement, or it gives the betterment with respect to the individual life. Now, when we see about the research and development, you may get a question. You may ask me a question that probably who can work into the R&D. So mostly in R&D, a pharmaceutical postgraduate are there, but for some of the work under R&D, the graduate and the technicians with diploma degree are also available. But it is preferred to have a MPharm degree or maybe a MS degree or a PhD degree or a MTech degree to enter into research and development department. Now let's see about the manufacturing operations. While R&D is involved into a development, it's very important that the product or the APIs which are being developed by the R&D, they should be commercially manufactured. Thus, bulk drug manufacturing, active pharmaceutical ingredient which is referred as API or the drug substance, excipient manufacturing, then manufacturing of the pharmaceutical formulations which we referred as a dosage form. So any of the dosage form like tablet, capsule, injection, or the solid inhalers or powder for oral suspension, disintegrating tablets, capsule. So you name any of the pharmaceutical dosage form. So manufacturing of them, maybe manufacturing of the biotechnology drug product or maybe the fermentation drug product, drug device manufacturing, and uses of the drug device for the pharmaceutical application purpose, pharmaceutical packaging, all those particular activities are performed into a commercial GMP approved facilities. And those GMP approval facilities are by the regulatory agencies. And in this case, most of the key elements of this particular GMP or the manufacturing are the product and the primary materials. So as all of you know, the raw ingredients or the raw materials which are being used to create a product, and that particular product ultimately goes to the consumers. So GMP ensures that we will have an adequate control with respect to product and the primary materials which are being used into the pharmaceutical dosage form, and they meet the desired quality standards. The second important parameter that is being taken into consideration during the manufacturing operation is the GMP with respect to premises and the equipments. So the equipments which are being available into the manufacturing premises, those must be properly maintained and they should be safe. The conditions should be effective for the manufacturing of the medication. So the premises should be well equipped with all the condition and the infrastructure as per GMP so that a stable quality product can be manufactured in that premises using the equipment and the design process. Of course, to conduct all the activities, people are required and we all are required. So people are backbone of any business unit, and training of the people, operating of each facility with proper and adequate training under the CGMP condition is the responsibility of individual people who are working in the premises. So employees are required to abide by the GMP quality standards. So they also have to follow GMP, and any violation of the GMP is not acceptable when we work into the manufacturing operations or into the pharmaceutical industry. The procedures also a key element of good manufacturing practices. So a manufacturer must be regularly revisited to ensure that the drug processes or the technologies which are or the science which is being involved into the pharmaceutical manufacture is being taken into consideration, and everything has been documented properly. So the documented procedures and the following up of the documentation procedures for conducting the routine activities for the manufacturing operation is must as per GMP. So it's very important that to follow the good documentation practices. So whatever you want to do, write it first, and then do it as per the written procedure, and then record the evidence that it is being done adequately. So this is the most important aspect of GMP. Again, this is true for all the processes. So, good manufacturing practices is a system for ensuring that the products are consistently produced and controlled according to the quality standards set by the pharmaceutical industry and set by the regulatory agencies. Now, when we are talking about the manufacturing operations, yes, we all can work into the manufacturing operations after we complete our graduation or the post graduation, and also some of the diploma pharmacists can work in as a technician, and they further grow to the supervisor and officer level while working into the manufacturing operations with a diploma in pharmacy qualification. But if you have a better qualification like bachelor of pharmacy or master of pharmacy, there are chances to grow further in this particular discipline. To continue with the manufacturing operation means not only the production or the manufacturing, but we can find various business units which are coordinating with each other in order to manufacture and supply a drug product. And those different units are the packaging, stores, quality control, quality assurance, audit and compliance, utility and engineering, environmental health and safety. So good GMP compliance is widely accepted as the best way to conduct business, putting all of those manufacturing operations or the manufacturing operation individual departments units together and making the quality product first. If you can see about the individual manufacturing operations or the subunit like packaging is very important because it's very important that the product should be packed into the desired pack so that they are stable during the shelf life, and also they are clearly distinguished and identified with respect to its individual identity. When we talk about the stores, it has been very important that as we have seen earlier that the drug product consists of raw materials, excipients, then API, then the packaging materials, or maybe the drug device which is being brought together so as to make a drug product. So stores, everything will be coming first. Those will be stored into the those will be stored properly into the stores department. So it's very important that stores should be neatly organized as per the GMP requirement. And of course, the inventory control is most important because as per the manufacturing schedule, the product of the product, the API, RM, PM, or the devices should be available at the time of manufacturing and as per the manufacturing plan. So API, RM, PM are very critical elements of pharmaceutical product and the inventory control, and proper storage and dispensing of that particular API or MPM is being taken care by the stores department. The another very important and essential operation in the pharmaceutical industry is the quality control. The drugs or the drug product which are being marketed as safe and therapeutically active formulations, and for that it is required that they should be having a consistent and predictable performance. And even if the products are designed during the R&D or during the process development as a quality product, it's very important that the control of quality of the drug product which is being going to the market should be ensured. So although product is designed to have a desired critical quality product attributes, quality control verifies that ingredients and the products meet written and approved standards, which is often called as the specification. The QC laboratory perform the testing of RMs, PMs, and the finished product, and they see that it is as per the standards, and then the batches are being released. First, the API, RM, PMs are being released to manufacture the batches. After that, the batches are being tested. In process conditions has been tested, and then batches are released for market. So just imagine if the defective batches go into the market, then there could be several implication with respect to safety of a patient, and in that case probably it will have a business impact also. So it's very important that the product should be tested as per specification and ensured that it is complying to the specification, and then the product batches should go into the market, and this job is being done by the quality control team. We have also quality assurance teams, and they ensure that the medication being developed are under GMP and following the required standard operating procedures, and they will provide desired effect to the patient. So they are actually the internal inspector which will inspect that, or they will assure that the quality is being built into the product through the process, through the formulation, through the environment, through the working and everything. So they will be overall observing all activities, and they will assure that the product is a quality product. About the audit and compliance, so pharmaceutical quality audit is actually an examination, we can say. And this particular examination is being done by the internal auditors, or it can be done by the external auditors, or it can be done by the regulatory agencies. So wherein the auditor will establish that the activities of your company are performed and those are compliant as per the standard regulations. So whatever the things you have been written, you're doing the activities as per the written procedures, and those activities are complying as per the standards and as per the standards of the regulatory agency. So this compliance will be done through audit. As I said, the audit can be taken by the internal, external agencies or by the regulatory authorities. And for pharmaceutical product and the processes, or for the pharmaceutical industry, 100% compliance by the pharmaceutical industry is must, or else it affects on the product availability in the market and it impacts on business also. The next important unit is again a utility and the engineering unit. This department also plays a very critical role. So even if it is a non-pharmacy department, but it's very crucial and very important to maintain the facility in operational and as per CGMP compliance. So the building, premises, utilities which are being required for the manufacturing of the drug product, like water system, pure steam, purified water, compressed air, medical gases, all those things, the equipment which are being required for the manufacturing process, and the subsequent operations associated with that particular product, those are being maintained up to date, and the overall maintenance, facility upgradation is being done by the utility and engineering team. Also, in a pharmaceutical industry, a project team is also there, which is also involved in the facility upgradation. So those are also the engineers which are working over there. The another most important, and here it is being mentioned as last, but it is not least, it's the most important, is the environmental health and safety, which is normally referred as the EHS. So EHS is very critical again to ensure safety of the person working in the pharmaceutical industry, safety of the products and their effects on the end users, and also on our environment, and comply to the GMP, that is the good manufacturing practices. So it's very important that where we work, the environment should be safe. What we produce, that is the pharmaceutical product, that should be safe, and a strong EHS management system should be there in any of the pharmaceutical industry, which in turn will give us a confidence to work and produce the product, and which are free from health hazard to us, health hazard to the patient, and and any hazard to the environment. So we can have a green environment and green working conditions, so that it will not contaminate our environment, and in turn it will increase the productivity of any of the organization. So for any manufacturing business, that need to have a prime focus with respect to EHS. EHS is again an industry norm also and statutory requirement also, and it's very important by legal and as a statutory requirement that industry has to adhere to the laws and the guidelines pertaining to the EHS, which are being laid down by the relevant regulatory agency. Now again, when we see about like manufacturing operation, again the question will come like who can work into the manufacturing operations and who can work into this various units of the manufacturing operations. So again, a pharma graduate or postgraduate, the technicians who are having a knowledge of pharmaceutical management, pharmaceutical materials, operations, quality control tools, instrumentation, GMP, material handling and inventory management, computers, softwares, they can work into these different departments of manufacturing operations. Even actually we have seen in our career that most of the manufacturing operation people which are working into the manufacturing or production are of pharmaceutical background, but with the experience they have more understanding with respect to utility and engineering also aspects also, and they can work and head those particular departments also with the adequate knowledge about environment, health, and safety, EHS, a pharmacist can work into that particular department also and contribute. So overall, if we are working into pharmaceutical industry and if we have background about everything, probably we can work in any of the department. Next important department is again purchase and supply chain management. So this ensures that the process of acquiring the supplies need to run the business operations, and they also ensure that supplies are transformed into finished product. They also ensure that finished products are delivered to the end user. So overall purchase, logistic, procurement, material management, sourcing is being taken care by purchase and supply chain management. So this is also an important department which is, and even a pharma graduate with suitable degree as a graduation or post graduation, or with additional degree of MBA or postgraduate diploma in pharmacy, or having a relevant computer knowledge and added knowledge with respect to this particular department can work into purchase and supply chain management. So this is very important and crucial for business to maintain the supply chain right from the development to the procurement for the manufacturing, and then a distribution of the goods which are the finished good to the respective centers, then distribution towards the wholesale center, and then it goes to the individual hospital, pharmacy, or to the stores. So whole supply chain management chain is most important in order to ensure continuous supply of medicine from any of the pharmaceutical unit or the industry. As all of us know, the pharmaceutical industry develops and produces and markets the drug or the pharmaceutical product which are used as a medication. This professional is directly linked with the public health, and this is a highly regulated industry. So the regulatory affairs department of a pharmaceutical industry is very important, and it is responsible for registration of the API, registration of the product, keeping up of the regulatory license between the organization and the regulatory authorities, for audits and compliance. They're also responsible for inspections. They're responsible for FDA regulatory queries during the product development, during the product submission, or during the life cycle management of the product. They are also responsible for overall regulatory compliance of the pharmaceutical industry, considering the regulatory aspect of individual regulatory authorities and audits and compliance. Does RA ensure the compliance, that is the overall regulatory compliance of the pharmaceutical industry, obtaining approval for a new drug product and ensuring that the approval is maintained for as long as the company want to keep the product in the market. And all of you know that this RA, or the Regulatory Affairs Department, is an important department during the inspection of most of the pharmaceutical units. Now, who can work into RA? So again, a pharmaceutical graduate, postgraduate, MBA. Now, some of the institutions are also coming up with a specified degree with respect to MBA in regulatory affairs, or maybe your MPharm in regulatory affairs, and those people can work specifically into RA. They should be having a knowledge about the regulatory authorities. They should be having a knowledge about the regulatory guidelines. And if they have some postgraduate diploma, or maybe BBA, MBA with respect to RA, that could be a preferred advantage to work into a regulatory affairs department. So this is how actually it's about RA. So role of RA, which actually they ensure that the compliance is being made with respect to regulatory aspect, so that a quality product can be supplied and there won't be any therapeutic failures of the drug products when it comes to the market. The next department is a project management department, and the most important is the intellectual property management department. So overall, a project management department is involved into the overall project timelines, coordination, activity updates, and report preparation for management review, and they ensure that the overall organization goals are being achieved. So PM, or the project management department, coordinates with each and every department, and they ensure that the product is being kicked off, it is being taken into consideration for development, and then probably it will be taken for the submission. Then the submitted product is being overall reviewed by the agency, and while they review, if any query comes, probably the queries are being answered in time. If anything that needs to be discussed with the API supplier, or maybe with the formulation department, they will keep a track of each and everything, so that every queries can be answered, and the product's approval can come. After the product approval, probably the product commercialization will take care properly. So the product commercialization will take care as per the timelines decided by the organization, and the product goes into the market. So during each and activity, a track of activities is being taken care to ensure the organization goal by the project management department. While we do all those activity, it's very important that the legal compliance or the patent compliance, or we should adhere to the intellectual property rights. So IP, or the IPM, this department plays a very important role, and they see that the intellectual property rights are being reserved, and those are being followed by the individuals, and the rights are being kept properly with the individual organization. So as we know that we develop the medical innovations and the treatments and the drug product, and those are actually the NC comes through the discovery process. The NDA also comes through certain process. So whatever we develop, that is, if required, it is to be protected through the IPR. The trademark, which helps to distinguish our product or the brand or company at a product level, that should be proper. It can offer us exclusivity and the rights to market our drug product, and prevent others of selling or copying or manufacturing of those drug product when we are patenting them. And this IPR also provides or encourage the healthy competition, and that promotes the development of the individual industry, and also provides the economic growth. The IPR also provides some incentives to the company, and that helps the companies to invest into the research and development. So for any pharmaceutical company, IPR or the IPM group that support in identifying, planning, commercializing, and protecting the inventions. They are also involved in business development, patents, trademark, litigation, legal, and IP compliance, and also development of certain financial models or the business models. Now, if we are to work into PM or if we are to work into IPR, again, any pharma graduate or postgraduate can work into that. If you have a certain software knowledge or some project management software knowledge, it that will be added advantage to work into a project management group. If you have some legal degrees, you have some degrees with respect to IPR, some MBAs, and some business awareness, then it's preferred that you can work into the IP management group also. The another department is the business development or the marketing department. So it's very crucial that we have to identify a right molecule, right product at right time and deliver them into the healthcare of the society, so that individual organization can be benefited and their business objectives can be achieved. So business development is involved into, or a marketing department is involved into market survey or research or analysis of the current pipeline and the new pipeline or the future pipeline for any of the pharmaceutical industry. They're involved into promotion and pricing strategy. They are involved into coalition partner, alliance management, marketing of the product to the wholesalers, to the distributors, and to the doctors, marketing to the chemists. So in all those activities, business development department is involved. So they see that like what are the competent product, those are being developed by the product, are being successfully manufactured, successfully marketed, and it goes to the hands of the health professionals and ultimately to the patients in time, and that ultimately gives business to the organization. Again, if you are smart, dynamic, having a good communication skills and the presentation skill, and preferably graduate or postgraduate in pharma, and with added degree of MBA, probably you can work into business development or marketing department. The additional few departments which are there into uh, the pharma industry are finance and administration, and a recent tool to make the business processes more better and smarter and more efficient is the department that is the artificial intelligence department. Being a pharma graduate or postgraduate, you may think that how I can work into this particular department, but a person with pharma background and a person with added information about these finance tools or maybe the administration tools and some of the tools which are being invented or which are being used into artificial intelligence can definitely work into those departments also. So finance and administration is involved into finance, accounting, audit, budget, costing, investor relations, corporate communications, legal and compliance, information system, human relations, administrations, etc. And artificial intelligence, as I said, this is the recent tool to make the business processes better, smarter, and more efficient. And this is basically uses the information technology, computer systems to perform the use of human tasks, use the data science to improve the drug development process, and also overall improve the process efficiency. If you can Google this particular term, artificial intelligence, actually most of the pharma industries or most of the industries, not only the pharma industries, other industries are also focusing on this specific new faculty, or maybe we can say the new discipline, that is the artificial intelligence. And pharma graduate, postgraduate, who are having MBA, and those are having a computer knowledge, who has necessary skills to operate different type of softwares. Those will be actually highly. They can come up as a member to work into this particular department, or they can be a prospective candidate to work into this particular department. As we have seen earlier, that during the initial development stage, we perform PK studies, PD studies, that is the pharmacokinetic and pharmacodynamic studies, preclinical studies, clinical studies. And our CRO, that is the clinical research organizations or the bioequivalence centers, are involved in doing those particular studies. And also there is a department that is called as the pharmacovigilance department, where actually detection, assessment, understanding, and prevention of adverse effects or any other medicine vaccine related problem are being studied. So these are also the department where actually the global pharmaceutical industry or global healthcare industry is looking towards India as a prospective country to do most of the PK, PD, preclinical, clinical, and the biochemical studies in India. So, like there are several avenues; those are open for the pharmaceutical students to work into those particular departments. And of course, like pharmacy management, last but not the least, the hospital pharmacy, drugstore management, wholesale pharmacy, e-pharmacy. Like there are various e-pharmacy platforms are also coming up, and you can order the medicines through your app, and the medicine comes to the home. So you need not to go to the pharmacy for purchasing. Even actually, their doctors are consulting with us. And they are also additionally providing some remedies or some advice. Those are also useful. So e-pharmacy platform is also coming up on a huge way, and this is being used in most of the cities by most of the patients to get the medicines in hand at home. So I think the pharmacist is the center of all the activities which we have discussed so far. And it's the science and the activities related to medicines and patients where a pharmacist is being involved. So, friends, after knowing about this pharmaceutical industry and the various departments associated with the pharma organization, I hope that you must have got fair idea about your future and what you are going to do in future. So now, when the scenario is present in front of us, then definitely I'm sure that there could be a question in your mind that how to step in, how to succeed, and how to move on. It's very important that at any stage in profession, we should have a desired knowledge, the desired skills, and the desired ability. That KSA is very, very important. And along with that, when you are into the college, you have to gather a lot of knowledge to become a subject expertise. So subject expertise, that is the theoretical concept, laws and regulations, document preparation practices, engineering practices, specific industry design, manufacturing practices, business understanding, all those theoretical concepts, get it when you are into the pharmacy education, when you are doing your graduation or the post graduation, and have a knowledge which is a body of information along with you. At the same time, think about application part. Application is nothing but practice or getting appropriate training to apply the theory into the practices. So achieve the skills for handling the managing the things, managing the data, managing the peoples, have an ability for expression of those skills. So present that ability through your work by doing some of the small tasks, and then definitely most of the problems or most of the thoughts from your mind will probably come down. And when you are stepping, always remember your childhood, the way you have gone ahead. Remember the first day when you have entered into the playgroup and the journey onward. What lesson you learned from the journey? Of course, there is no any formula, no any 10 or 20 steps program. The answer is self-explanatory. Learn hard through your education, adopt the practical ways, learn through the experience, work hard, and definitely we will find the way. So, friends, how to succeed, how to move, it's totally in our hand. But it's very important that one should develop the knowledge, basic skills, and attitude required for success in completing the university programs, and we should equip ourselves for entering into a pharmaceutical profession. A strong academic background, knowledge, skill, ability, and a will to practice the knowledge for the application purpose is the key towards the success. So, going towards the end of my presentation, a success mantra for any a professional: if we strive to be responsive, receptive, and reasonable, each and everything will follow into place and take care of itself, and success and happiness will follow us. So, my dear friends, students, teachers, and all industrial professionals and all fellow pharmacists, let's be responsive, receptive, and reasonable while achieving our goals and objectives and health of the society. It's very important to maintain the physical, emotional, and mental strength and financial stability, and demonstrate adaptability to changing environment and function accordingly and respond effectively in all the situations. So the motto of the today, that let's unitedly be in action, remain in action for health and well-being of individual and the healthier world. Thank you and happy World Pharmacist Day. Good luck and all the best to all of us and all of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Truly, sir, your years of experience and ability to present the subject in such an interesting way has made us more curious for learning. This brings us to the question answer sessions. So, those students who have doubts may ask to sir one by one. Sir, may I?
Yes, sure.
Sir, how can we get into technology transfer?
Yes. So, uh, in case of formulation development, okay, when we develop a formulation, we have to develop a process also. The process that we develop should be a robust process, and that should be commercially viable process. So technology transfer department is coordinating between R&D department and the manufacturing department for successful technology transfer of the drug product and the processes at the manufacturing scale. So if you are a pharmacy graduate or even a pharmacy postgraduate, you can enter into a technology transfer department. In most of the industry now, the department is named as technology transfer, or maybe as a PDL, that is the process development laboratory, or as a MSNT, management of science and technology. So you can easily go into that TT department after your graduation, and definitely you can grow in the department with some relevant experience. So you should be having a basic knowledge about the equipments which are being used into the pharmaceutical manufacturing, how the manufacturing operations are scaled up. Are there any scaling of factors involved into that? So if you have that basic knowledge, that will be again fruitful, and again it will be like additional advantage with respect to entering into this particular profession and the department.
Thank you, sir.
Good afternoon, sir. Thank you
Good
so
af-
much for your guidance. Sir, I have a question that which department has the better scope in future?
I think I have explained about all the departments, right?
Yes, sir.
So every department has a future actually. It's important that to run a pharmaceutical industry, the role of each and every department is equally important. And while we enter into profession, we should know like what happens into that department. And when we enter into that particular department, then probably we should learn and adopt the systems, and we should work for success. So I can't say that one department is good and another department is bad or not so good. So every department is a good to work. And now you can see actually like with the experience, you may start working into R&D, but you may go into technology transfer, you may lead a manufacturing operation, or you may go into the regulatory or the IP. So it's not that like you will enter into one department and you will stuck to one department. While you work into the pharmaceutical industry, you can work for you can gather a knowledge, learn more, and then you can also again into the another department also. So I can't appropriately answer this particular question, but like it's depend upon your will, your understanding about the subject and the department, and then going into that with full of your capacity. So that's important.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes, sir. Myself, Pakasha Gaikwad, final year student. Uh, First of all, I would like to wish you a very happy Pharmacist Day, and
Same.
thanks for this valuable guidance that you've given us. That will be definitely helpful for us. And my question to you was that what is the opportunities in a regulatory affairs like after graduation?
Again, after graduation, you can definitely work into RA. So there are a lot of opportunities coming up into RAs also. As actually this regulatory affair department, I have said that this is the most important department, and it's actually क्या बोलते हैं हम लोग कि between manufacturing or maybe between the business unit and between the regulatory authorities, individual statutory regulatory authorities, this RA department plays an important role. So everybody can again work into RA, but if you have like I've seen that some of the colleges are coming up with some diploma or maybe some postgraduate degrees with respect to this RA. So if you have those particular degrees, that would be added advantage. But plain B Farm and even a plain M Farm in pharmaceutics, or maybe into the analytical, or maybe into the QA or biopharmaceutics, they can work into the RA. And there are several opportunities that are coming up and are there into the pharmaceutical industry in RA. Even like we can say a lot of ladies also working and gents also working with the diversity into the pharmaceutical. Like there is equal scope for we can say ladies as well as gents to work into this department.
Okay, sir. That would be definitely helpful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other question from anyone?
Hello, sir.
Hello.
Uh, Sir, I have one question.
Yes.
First of all, thank you for giving such a wonderful seminar on the occasion of World Pharmacist Day. Could you
Thank
discuss one point regarding artificial intelligence?
Yes.
So, our industry is having a great revolution, which is moved from industry 1.0 to industry 2.0, industry 3.0 to industry 4.0 right now.
Mhm.
So, how there is an involvement of artificial intelligence in the pharma industry, first of
Mhm.
all. And if you go for artificial intelligence, what types of courses are available right now?
At this moment, to specify your second question first. So, what type of courses which are being available with respect to artificial intelligence? In fact, I'm not sure about those particular courses. Maybe like you with the help of your professors or maybe academicians, you can actually find out what are those courses. And if not into the academics, probably the academicians and the professors can think about this particular courses into the pharmaceutical course. So this is a recent tool to make the business processes better, smarter, and more efficient. So this particular artificial intelligence is based on the computer. It's a software. It's based upon the data mining experience. So it is basically use of information technology. So if you have hands-on experience on the information technology, use of certain softwares for data management, data assessment, and use of that particular data science to find out certain facts and figures that will help to further improvise and to automate the processes. So this is the theme which is being worked across the industry, across the pharma industry at this moment. And this is basically to improve either the processor or to efficiency. So this is actually a new tool, recent tool, and the application is limited considering this particular aspect that just now I have explained about it.
Thank you, sir. So one more question.
Yes.
Actually, most of the regulatory agency or auditory agency, they look more on the environment, health and safety. They make an more emphasis on health and safety. So how industry look for this environmental health and safety and how they tackle such a problems?
Industry is very much aware about the EHS. I'm not sure about the other industries, but pharma industry is definitely looking or giving a prime importance to EHS. The awareness about the safety is being inoculated in each and every individual employee. And even at the organization level, the management take due decisions so that safety is being followed. Safety is being followed in each and every operation and every day, every time at the site. So whatever the EHS management tools are required, considering safety of the individual, safety of the product, safety of the environment, then it could be a effluent treatment or water treatment, or maybe avoiding the chemicals into a direct sewage. So all those precautions are being taken by the pharmaceutical industry. And there are different industry norms, statutory requirements which are coming up. Safety inspectors are coming to the industry for inspection purpose, and every company is following the safety norms very strictly. Most of the companies are keeping this as a part of key responsibility area of certain managers, that they have to follow the safety. So there are some
Thank you, sir.
SOPs are in place, that is the standard operating procedures are in place. Checks are in place. There are some safety squeeze, safety environment week is being celebrated, so that safety awareness is there within the.
Thank you, sir.
Now I
Hello.
would like to invite Mrs. Saroja Nobade ma'am for the vote of thanks as we are running out of time.
Thank you, dear. Now, first of all, a happy World Pharmacist Day to one and all. Now, it is a very wonderful meeting. It's my privilege to propose the vote of thanks for this session. I express our sincere thanks to Honorable Sri Kalyan Jadhav sir, President of KJ's Educational Institute, Trinity College of Pharmacy, Honorable Vinod Jadhav sir as a treasurer, Honorable Harshada ma'am and Vibhavari ma'am as a managing director, and Major Samir Khalla sir as an executive director of KJ's Educational Institute, Pune, for their constant support and the motivation. I also wish to express my thanks to respected Principal Sir Dr. S.R. Chaudhary for his guidance and the encouragement. On behalf of the Trinity College of Pharmacy, I would like to extend a very heartily thanks to Mr. Avinash Villal sir for accepting our invitations and sparing their valuable time. And finally, I would like to thank all the HODs and faculty members, and last but not least, our dear students who all made this meeting a successful. I request to one and all please on their videos for a group photo. Villal sir, can you stop the sharing?
Yeah. Just hold on.
Saroja ma'am, please say regarding the Tuesday's program also.
Okay, sir.
Yes, I have stopped sharing.
Okay, sir. All students, I request please on your video for a group photo. Thank you very much. Dear students, on 27 September, there is a one sessions by Dr. Prasad Pohlia. So all are requests to join at 6:30 p.m. sharp on 27 September. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Bye.